tabby nails on my fucking leg right there.
Holy shit!
Yes,
Watch
charger.
out!
Okay. Got some in your mouth.
Ready when you guys are.
Oh, don't fucking do that. Did you see what he did?
No.
What's up?
Dude, he held his suspenders out and went,
My suspenders?
fucking whatever, get over here.
Wait. Did you sew anything else besides that patch?
This one?
Check
No, look at the back.
Check the back. To the back.
Motherfucker!
Hell
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Cookie Colton.
Kamala interview.
You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Now,
Yeah?
Okay, Thomas, you go first, Colton. You go, and then I'll go
I looked
last.
on the whole time.
I'm Thomas Taylor. I sing in child labor. Who are you?
It was Golden Gabriel!
What do you do in child labor?
Do guitar and shit.
Yeah. Fuck. My name's Jay. I do drums for child labor.
Okay. First question, what does punk mean to you personally?
I think it's the one of the best ways to express yourself. Oh, that's bad. Express yourself. When you have no other way to do what?
You know this.
Fuck off, man. Like my hands all shaky and shit.
Jesus Christ.
He's nervous.
We'll cut the stuff out, don't worry.
Yeah.
No, don't cut this out. But
No, do cut this out.
basically a way to express yourself when you have no other way, especially through anger or like let's say your mom pisses you off really bad, you know, and you want to like hit a wall. You can listen to music, you know, or something like that, and don't hit anyone. I think it's great. And all music like that, personally. Yo, fuck off! Let me see that shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dude,
Fucker.
Oh shit! Throw my laptop! Chill out with the pineapple juice.
I think punk just really made me gain my values as a person, political view-wise, and just like caring for the people around me and meeting, you know, people that I know and love to this day.
It's typically narrowed down as like a way you believe in, like, not really politics, but the way you kind of, it's really like heavy on politics, but it's also just a group you kind of associate yourself with, even like when you have nobody else, like that's kind of like early punk, but it's also just honestly the way you express yourself, the way you like appear, the way you like treat yourself mentally, the way you think mentally.
It's also not like a lot of people think it's mainly about how you look. It's really not. You can dress however you want and still have punk values. It's just about what you believe in and what you stand for.
Okay, sorry. How do you feel about the evolution of punk music over the decades?
80s was peak.
80s was peak. It has changed a lot. 1970s, you have this slower, more melodic stuff, and then
Early rock, late rockabilly
yeah,
stuff.
like late rock, and then you get the 80s, and it's just you know, because you had the Reagan administration, and much more, because you had, I don't know, it was bullshit. So it was just fast and angry. I don't know much more to say, you know.
Yeah, it was like when hardcore punk started, and still probably my favorite era of just music in general, really.
I think it was more like 80s was the best because it's more of like when hardcore like started, and it's more of like not like a way of looking, but a way of like they dressed like a lot more like not like less like fucking a lot of leather jackets and fucking like spikes. It's more of like the way you think instead of like way
Like
of
it
looking.
didn't matter what you wore; it just mattered what you thought.
Yeah, 'cause it was like after like punk started, and it kind of got more like it got more controlling with what you wear. Like you kind of have to wear a certain
Because in
thing.
the 90s, this is when you start getting into like, well, at least like late 80s, mid 90s, or like early 90s, you start getting into these. What the fuck you laughing at? You get to these more like controlling, yeah, like you said, controlling and more corporate. So then, like, yo, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. Whatever. Next question.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I want to add one more thing to
Okay.
that. Sorry. A lot of people think punk died after the 80s, which it can be arguable, but it's not about how popular it is, because there's a lot of scenes that are alive, like our scene. We're in the Portland scene, and there's some Vancouver stuff here and there, but not really. But the Portland scene has like you know, that's our scene, and there's scenes everywhere, like New Jersey and San Francisco and LA,
like Los
yeah,
Angeles,
especially California.
San Francisco.
Yeah, there's still scenes all around the world.
Is punk inherently political in your view, or do you think it could exist without a message?
Oh, it was created because of politics.
Yeah.
It can't exist without
Like,
politics. You
I
can't
don't-
just say punk isn't politics. Punk can't be about politics. Punk will never be about politics. You can't really say that.
It's
Yeah.
always going to be political,
So
and
it's-
it would never
'cause
be any other way.
And
Our
everything.
problems root from politicians and politics and stuff like that. At least a lot of the problems do, like equality.
Yeah, equality is probably like the biggest moral of
Yeah.
where punk started.
What's something you wish outsiders understood better about punk culture?
That we're not emo.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, dude. That's. Oh my God. That is so perfect, dude. That we're not emo. You know how many times I've gotten that? There was this one time I asked a kid for a black marker, or I asked him for one of his markers because I didn't have a pencil. He was like, "Yeah, which color do you want?" I said, "I want black," and he goes, "What? Did you choose that because you're emo?" And I like kept my cool, but I wanted to lose it. Emu.
Shit, I forgot the whole question.
The question was, what do you wish outsiders understood about punk?
That it's always going to be political. That's another thing. Some people think punk's not political, and some people think punk's just about the style. And like style really contributes to it, but there's at the same time there's not really a style. You can argue that a lot of punks look the same, but it's not true. Everyone just does it because it's how they want to dress and how they want to be. And like I said, it's always going to be political. It's never really about the style.
It's kind of basic, but every punk will say this, but it's not the way you appear, but
Yeah, it's not the way you appear. It's about your
like
moral values.
most punks
About
even
what's in your head.
most punks even appear like more rather you dress like if you're really trying to make a change, really dress formally, because it kind of singles you out in a community to where like someone looks at you like, oh, you have a mohawk, and you're like they honestly just like cancel you out if it's like fucking if you try to do anything like it's kind of like MK Ultra. You know, we talked about
What
this
was that
earlier.
lady?
Like they kind of associated associated anti-war with like hippies. I mean that's how they got like most people against anti-war.
Yeah. No, what did that one lady call us? She called us druggy, homeless, and junkies.
No, it wasn't junkies.
It
It
was-
was like gangsters.
It was no thugs.
Wait,
Homeless.
thugs.
It was
Like
thugs.
gangsters?
I got assaulted at the
specials?
bus stop, and she tried to play victim, and she said that.
Dude,
we
she called you
punched
guys
her.
gangsters?
Yes, she called
Really?
us thugs
All
and
of us.
gangsters. I'll
I didn't
pull it
remember
up later. It's fucking. Sucks.
No, it was the police report after.
The
Yeah.
fucking patterns.
Fuck.
You and your little patterns.
patterns.
All these patterns, man. It's just
I hate that bitch.
punk, dude.
Who are your biggest punk influences?
Gigi Allen. Not actually. No, that guy sucks. Oh my god.
Nah, this guy fucking loves Gigi.
Oh my God.
Probably like Ian McKay though. He's straight edge. You know, you don't do drugs, you don't smoke, and you don't have.
Definitely
like,
Aussie.
You just don't. You don't. Get
Yeah,
around
Aussie from aggro.
Aussie straight.
Aussie from
Aussie made me
aggro.
straight edge.
Yeah, Aussie
Aussie's
from
not
aggro.
straight edge either.
Fuck, look at tip in my
Okay, like genuine influence. It kind of goes with a lot of things. I would probably. It's weird. I want to say it's the politics because before I got into the bands I listened to, it was mainly my politics. But if we're talking like people wise, I'd probably say the members from Black Flag and Nirvana, especially Kurt Cobain. They're not as mainstream as people think they are. There's a lot more that goes into like that band than people think there is. So that's definitely my personal main influence was Nirvana.
Do you guys think drugs have a big influence on punk culture?
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like it kind of like
It was
after
psychedelic.
hardcore, it was more. It was psychedelics before, more like hardcore because it was more just like 80s shit too, and then like
It was also
after-
just another
Well, it
form
was
of
like the late 60s.
rebellion too. Is you're told not to do drugs, especially in the 80s.
yeah.
Like I don't like drugs. I
Yeah,
think
none
they're
of us
fucking
do like
stupid.
hard
That's
drugs
why,
or
like-
anything. Like,
But
we
like
wouldn't-
that's what they were about, you know.
That's
We
why I
wouldn't really
think
have
like more like
a lot of fun
after
without it.
and during hardcore was a lot better because it was more like going against that kind of like party lifestyle of most
Yeah.
punks, especially like Sid Vicious and that shit.
Yeah, but
And that's why we have straight edge.
yeah, and it was like
Oh.
what, late '60s, early '70s when it was like the whole hippie deal, and then like the psychedelic rock stuff, and then them rebelling, and like
Yeah.
protests got big, and you know that kind of
It
deal.
was like, I don't know, it did change. It was like do drugs and then not do drugs.
yeah.
Well, will you explain straight edge for people that don't know?
Oh yes, I will.
Oh,
I mean, I just did what like 30 seconds ago.
Well, like with more like
a life of
definition.
sobriety, no drugs, no like.
Celibacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like if you don't know what's about what I just said.
celery.
Celery.
It's
If you don't know what celery is.
Over like out of all those things together, like a simple definition for people would just be keeping your body clean.
Just stay away from the bad stuff that hurts your life. Even if you think it's not, it will.
How has punk shaped your views on authority, society, or capitalism?
I don't like cops. That's for personal reasons. If we're talking authority specifically, I've had my own experience with them. I've had family killed by cops, so I don't, never really mess with cops. I try to stay away from them. I also show my hate towards them because they've showed hate towards the people around me, and it sucks. But that's how it is, and I wish it could change.
It sounds really like basic, and I wish like I said like how much like I've changed, but my views have always like kind of been there because I've been in skating. That's what introduced me to punk. But I feel like getting more into the scene and more into punk, it kind of arranged my views and more to like and like a fucking more collective and like let's see like a more organized like state of mind.
And you
where,
can tie. You remember what you were talking about yesterday with like not shopping at Zoomies.
Oh yeah, 'cause
It's
that's,
like
that's
is
kind
that
of like
it-
that's kind of
a
also
form of capitalism almost.
and it's just like it's evolved off of punk.
So
skating.
it's mainly like, I mean, it's like just shop at your local skate shop. It's like go to a local show, don't go to a big venue. You don't know what they're
'Cause-
putting your money towards.
Especially
Always
like
go to
Richfield
benefit shows.
Amphitheater. They suck.
Cause skating used to be like a scene, just like punk, but it
Yeah.
wasn't shows, it was events.
Yeah, it was just skating.
And that's kind of what just I was in.
Yeah, and for me personally, for the authority thing, no politician will ever help you. They don't care about you. If you're like, I mean, we can just look over everything. You know how many like people we have in this community that are like
It's
just
like
not
you know how much
straight people, like trans people. A lot of people fucking hate trans people, you know. But it's like they're becoming almost not a they're still a minority, but there's enough of them where they would have a say. But nobody cares because they don't want to listen because of religion.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I feel like ties into punk. Is
A lot
like
of
the
authority
very
figures are
anti-religious agenda because it separates a lot of people. And I'm not gonna get super deep into this because it's not what it's about. But like the kids in Palestine and the Gaza Strip, it's a whole deal. That is very tied into religion, and they don't deserve that.
And if you think Israel's right, you should fuck off.
Yeah.
politicians could do so much to help you, but they honestly only want to benefit off of whatever they want to tell you or whatever.
And like
they
I
can
was
benefit off of.
kind of trying to get tuned, but not really. They could stop the war in Palestine if they really, not the war, the mass genocide in Palestine if they really wanted to, but they don't choose to. And it makes you wonder why there's no equality still to this day.
Fuck.
Give me that fucking beret, dog.
All right, next question, man.
Discharge patch from my buddy Caballero. Nazi punks fuck off from Blair.
Speaking of Nazi punks, do you want to explain what that is and how it does affect?
Nazi punks don't really make sense because it's more anti-fascism, and that's kind of just based off around a whole fucking leader that's the most fucking famous fascist ever, and then it's off of boneheads and skinheads. That's kind of why fucking a lot of people say
also
Nazi punks.
it's
but
like
it's Nazi
neo-Nazis.
boneheads.
It doesn't make any sense because it's like you can't bring something back that's dead, and nobody wants it back. That's not where I'm trying to get at. But you cannot bring something back that's dead.
If your leader knows how bad they are and that they killed themselves, you should follow the leader.
Pretty much, yeah. I feel like all these freaking neo-Nazis should just
Fuck off.
Die.
Should like
die. They
But
should
these
get,
days you don't really.
you can cut this out. They should kill
neo-Nazis,
themselves.
But you don't see a lot of neo-Nazis as much as you do as you used to. But they go by a different name. They go by MAGA now.
Yeah, the neo-Nazis go by MAGA now. That's those
I really
guys are
like-
neo-Nazis.
honestly, if you define Nazi, most of that shit's just fucking MAGA, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of crazy.
Fascist, basically a whole pyramid of race, basically, of like what the fucking like white people on top of everything, and just fucking like I don't know, just mass deportation and shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what you told me.
You guys mentioned punk is like anti-religion. How would you respond to someone who identifies as Christian and as punk?
Okay, listen. I wanna speak on this just really quick. I don't hate anyone who's religious.
Yeah.
I don't follow religion personally. If that's your comfort, I'm not gonna discourage you for that. And I still have friends who are religious, and I don't hate them at all. I personally don't follow religion, and I don't think people should either. But I'm not gonna control what people do. That's their decision. If that's what comforts them, then fucking.
And a lot of religion is based off of just from being taught from years, as like from generations, just to fucking like a lot of translations, obviously. But I hate when people talk about like how like, oh yeah, gay marriage and like man sleeping with man is wrong, but they like still like eat pork, and that's what it tells you not to do in the Bible. But they just obviously just are just fucking
Like, they don't follow their
homophobic.
own
But they just
rules, yeah.
I
They
know, but
really don't.
it's just
follow
really
their own
transitioned.
rules.
People are like, well, that's the new Christianity. Well, it's not really new Christianity.
Or they'll
You
hit you
can't-
with,
you can't have
no,
a-
that's the other Bible.
No, that's the other.
That's
Yeah,
the
the
other
other
Bible.
Bible, like the
I hate when people try to
unholy
compare-
Bible. Do they follow the unholy Bible or the holy Bible? I'm confused, like genuinely.
Another thing is, even if you are religious, you can still be a punk rocker. There's no like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no
there's literally
discrimination
this dude
towards.
in this interview that I was watching. His name's called Straight Edge Tom or Hank, and he's in American Hardcore. What's his name? Or he's a pastor or a father. I can't remember. Or they're maybe the same thing. I don't know. But still,
Yeah,
you can be religious.
Yeah, no hate towards religion, but I don't follow it. I don't feel
I'll
like
follow
people
you.
should either. I can try to convince people, but I don't put pressure on anyone to
I
stop
don't-
following what they follow.
I don't try to convince people. I give them the reasons why I don't. I give them
Yeah.
the reasons why there's a possibility. Like I've had like spiritual and like paranormal shit happen, but that's obviously not proof of God. Like, I
And-
hate when people try to prove God and tell me to read the Bible. Like the fucking the book about talking about God will prove that God's right, like or God's like a thing. It's weird.
And there's definitely people out there, like half of them are like the people who show like the good parts of religion, and there's the people who show the bad parts of religion. Which sadly, it's a majority of people, at least from the people I've met in my life.
It also sucks. The Bible is written from a man's perspective anyway. It did not have women in the Bible. It
Yeah.
did not.
And I just
know
think you
about
should
the one
just.
being interviewed. But like,
Hello, I'm Lizzie. I think a lot of people try to use religion to excuse the hatred they have for marginalized groups. I think that's fucked up. I think that's really fucked up. And I have more of an issue with organized religion than I do with people's personal spiritual beliefs, because leaders of organized religions are just politicians in disguise.
Preach!
They're just politicians in disguise. They just want your fucking money. People talk about the separation of religion and state. This is not true. Your fucking tax dollars are going towards those churches. Fuck that. Anywho.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay.
Allah.
How has your band influenced at least the Portland punk culture, or just in general?
Well, our band's kind of new. We haven't played any shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean our message won't get through. The
Yeah.
first song that we wrote, which
The song is called Take Cover. It's about, I wrote it about Palestine actually, you know. The song's about being in your house and bullets flying through your window in your room, like killing your mom.
and there's
How
nothing. they
terrifying would that
do.
be?
Exactly.
If you're sitting in your house, let's say some other country comes to America, starts shooting through your window, drops a bomb right in the middle of your house, you're gonna die.
They don't care when they do it to them, though.
The
They
place
don't
you
get
call
it.
home.
They don't care.
If it was you, you would care.
If
your
it was an
neighbor,
American, they'd care. They would care way too much.
It's a lot more with politics. That's like, especially the people of like that follow Trump is more of out of sight, out of mind. They're not in
out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, they're not in fucking Palestine.
They're thousands of
fucking
miles
Israel.
away, but it's still a problem.
Yeah.
Just because it's not your family member.
I've
doesn't mean
donated
that they
a
don't
good
like.
portion of my personal money helping. Like those benefit shows, I always make sure I give extra.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm not
for
trying
sure.
to like, put myself out there or anything, but like I
Yeah,
always
you're
do that.
Good boy, aren't you? You do that shit for fame, son. You're
No,
fucking-
I think it's
Scene
a good.
credit.
I think it's a good thing to
Scene
do.
credit.
No, not scene credit. That's another thing. I'm putting in my own question. No scene credit. No one likes scene credit. That's stupid. Unless it's like a photographer, give them credit for the photo.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you should do. But yeah, I always try to do what I can and do more over the top, I guess.
Is there anything else you guys like to add? I ran out of questions.
With religion, just be a good person until you die. You really can't go wrong, because in all religions, it's kind of just being a good person, not just fucking being an asshole like most religions. But like, I don't know. I just follow I don't follow religion, but I agree with a lot of religions that just honestly just fucking is the message is to be a good person until you die.
I would
That's
also-
all you can really do.
I would
You can't
also-
fucking predict anything.
I would also say, I would say punk isn't for everyone, but I think the main idea with that is shows aren't for everyone. I think everybody should be a punk.
Yeah.
Because
I don't even I go to shows. I don't really like it. Like it's
Yeah.
fun, but the whole point of it is just to be a good person. Yeah, just like religion teaches, like they're just saying, be a good person, be respectful to your neighbor, be respectful to yourself. Most definitely. Just care about other people. It's hard. That's why I believe that like the whole God thing, like going to heaven. Like if you're not good, you're gonna go to hell. That's just to keep you to be a good person. You know? You
I
sit
swear to
down.
God, if you hurt me,
Yeah, forget about them, man. I mean, also, back to the way you can dress.
okay.
A lot of people can't afford
Bitch, duh.
clothes, you know?
Bitch, dope.
A lot of... Get the fuck out of here. A lot of people can't afford clothes. You know, you can be really poor and fucking still, you know. It's fine.
Pre-junk.
Preach on. Not my face. What? Alright, is there any more thing else?
Yeah, what would you, so like, old news stories, talk about how punk is dangerous and they're satanic, and a lot of parents, would say to their kids to like stay away from, people that dress like you and act like you guys. You know, what would you say?
Hang
to
out
that?
with us more. Be
Yeah.
be around us. Hang out with us
Have a
more.
might not
conversation
like
with you.
this,
Play a
but
game
we're
of chess
kinda
with me
dicks.
while we talk
But
it
like-
over with tea.
Okay, but we are satanic, you know. Just kidding. But
Just eating.
We're satanic. We do drugs. I
I love
hate,
preaching about doing good things.
I
but
love
fucking
preaching about doing good things and then not doing anything about it. I refuse to get a job, and I would never do anything, and I will be a freeloader for the
I
rest of
live
my
in
life,
shit.
and that's what punk
I
means.
live in shit for punk.
Yep.
try beeping that out.
Fuck!
You should teach your kids what?
No, it just looks so funny on camera.
Yo, but tell your kids to like, if you see somebody that's like goth or alternative, they're probably the best person you can find. Especially if they're like lost in a store or something. I don't know. Unless they're like a cruster. Stay away.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Matt.
We're crusty.
Hey, Crust.
We
It's okay. Matt would never see this. They live on a flip phone.
This is true. Shut the
Not me though. Y'all stay
Hey,
safe.
not me though. Y'all stay safe.
Ow! Oh no! Fucking pineapple juice, my fucking that shit's worse than acid, dude. Fuck.
You got any more questions?
No. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
No. I think we got everything across. Listen to punk. Be a punk. Don't be lame. Go to local shows. Support local bands.
Believe
all
in
that cool
being a
stuff.
better person.
Believe in being a better person. That's what it's all about. Or else, Gigi Allen's gonna rise from the grave and get your bitch ass.
Wow.